People Person by Candice Carty-Williams. She's also the author of Queenie, which I read a few years ago, and Queenie was excellent, even though I didn't really like the character because, come on now. So People Person follows Dimple, who's the protagonist, her and her 4 half-siblings, and they're all brought together by an unfortunate event, which leads to them being in each other's lives forever. Now, Cyril is a waste man. Like, Cyril is a useless father. He cannot even be called a father. But anyways, Cyrus is the waste man that procreated with 4 different women and ended up having 5 kids. And he is not in the lives of these 5 kids. He is not in their lives financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, none of that. He is not in their lives at all. So anyways, this is how the story goes. Dimple's boyfriend Chiron accidentally, falls, hit his head, and knocks out. So Dimple is scared, and Dimple remembers decades ago when her useless father got her and all her half-siblings together and took them to the park so they could get to know each other. And from that meeting, Dimple remembers that her oldest sister, Nikisha, the firstborn, told her that, if any of them ever needed anything, to feel free and call her. So when Dimple's boyfriend Chiron passes out in Dimple's house because he hit his head, Dimple calls Nikisha to come to her rescue. And Nikisha calls all of their other half-siblings, and they all come to Dimple's house and figure out what to do about this body that's in Dimple's house. So they're trying to bury the body, get rid of the evidence, so Dimple doesn't end up in jail. And in the midst of that, when they go to bury Chiron's body, they come back to the event, and Chiron has disappeared. So now they're they're all nervous, and they're all scared that they're going to end up in jail, because if Chiron goes to the cops are going to come after them, or if someone saw them and reports it to the cops are going to come after all of them. So now they're all scared, but the fortunate thing is that they're all now in each other's lives, which they were not before. So anyways, I'm not going to give the whole book away because, you should go read the book and support the author anyways. So I'm not going to say what exactly happens, but I am going to talk about each individual characters and their characteristics and personalities. First and foremost, we have Nikisha, the firstborn, Dimple Pennington. She is the first child of Cyril, the useless man. Nikisha raised herself and raised her little brother Prince. They have the same mom. Their mom is Bernice. She raised herself and raised Prince, and I feel like because she's the eldest and she's kind of used to raising herself, she kind of just takes responsibility for every single person. And I just feel like she doesn't have to, but she does it because she feels like, everything falls on her, like everything is her responsibility. And I just feel so bad for her. I wish she was allowed to be a child and be a kid and just be her individual person. And I feel like she has to be responsible for her family and all her siblings. Now we have Danny, the second-born. Danny is half white, half Jamaican. His mom is Tracy. Danny made a big mistake when he was in his 20s and went to jail for 6 years. And then, of course, Danny got out. And then Danny has a son named Marley. He's 1 year old. And when Danny was locked up, he sent letters to his father, Cyril, so his father could come visit him. And I think in that moment, he really needed his father in his life. But of course, Cyril is a waste man. So Cyril never showed up for him when he needed him the most in his life. For that one time, Cyril disappointed him like he's disappointed everybody else in his life. Cyril never showed up for him. And Danny kind of has always wanted, a relationship with his father, because now that he's a father, he doesn't want to be the way his father was, not involved in none of his kids' life. So Danny makes it his business to be involved in his son's life. He has 1 kid, so he's also the primary parent for his son. He makes sure he's the best father to his son, and he really is, honestly. And he doesn't want to be anything like his dad. His dad was just not a father to any of him or his siblings. And of course, Danny has this jolly personality, nothing gets to him, nothing offends him, he doesn't get mad. And I think that's his way of masking his pain of not having a father in his life. So he just doesn't really let things get to him, and he's just happy, jolly. Next, we have Dimple, who's third-born, who's a third child. Dimple is also the one who this whole story is about. Dimple is an emotional person. She feels everything, she feels everything heavily, and she takes on everything emotionally too, and she overthinks. And she also kind of is emotionally dependent on her mom. Then she also becomes emotionally dependent on Nikisha, emotionally dependent on all her other siblings. And it's just you're 30, babes, grow up, and also stop being a liability on other people. Everyone else have their shit going on. All your siblings have their own shit going on, and they cannot just be coming to your rescue. Babes, you are an adult. Be confident in who you are. Have some self-confidence. Be secure in who you are, and be secure in your choices. We all make mistakes. We are all flawed, but just stand in your choices, babes. Stand up. Next, we have, because if I keep going about Dimples, I will be going on about her forever, so I'm not going to proceed, but just know, Dimple, stand up. Next, we have Lizzie, who's almost Dimple's twin, but they don't have the same mom. They have the same dad, though, and they're a week apart. Dimple is older than Lizzie, only a week, so Cyril was very fucking busy. Anyways, so Lizzie is half Nigerian, half Jamaican. The dad is Jamaican. Lizzie's mom is Nigerian, and Lizzie is just no nonsense person. She has very low tolerance for Cyril and his bullshit. She does not care for Cyril because Cyril never cared for her or her siblings, so she just is and I'm with you, Lizzie. I'm with you because, yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, Lizzie's just Lizzie's the one that, she's very blunt and she does not care. She's the one that basically tells Dimple, Dimple, you know, we're all involved in this shit because of you, and we have our own lives. Like, we're all now, you know, unaccomplished to a crime because of you, because we came to your rescue. But it's like, you know, we all have our own personal shit that we're going through. Like, Lizzie's partner thinks that she's cheating on her because Lizzie have to be sneaking out to go see Dimple and her have siblings about this Chiron bullshit. And so her relationship is kind of like in limbo now. And she's just like, Dimple, you need to just like get your shit together, because we have our personal lives outside of you. Like, our lives does not revolve around you. We have a lot of shit going on. Like, Nikisha has 2 kids that she needs to be taken care of. Danny has a son that he needs to be taken care of. I have a life that I need to be taken care of. I'm in medical school and I need to be focused on. And Prince is young. He needs to be focused on, you know, growing up and developing his life. Like, we cannot all be focused on you, Dimple. But anyways, Lizzie can be a bit too blunt sometimes. But I think that's just her personality and she can't help it. But I think somebody needs to be blunt, because the rest of the siblings do be letting Dimple slide, and also be letting Cyrus slide. Like, somebody needs to tell it how it is. Lastly, we have baby boy Prince, who's the last born. Prince and Nikisha have the same mom, and Prince is also the youngest, but right now he's 20 something. So Prince is very relaxed. He reads a lot of philosophy, and you know, I think he's just like, in a way, he's similar to his father, where he doesn't let things get to him, and he's just like, you know, chill about everything. Like, you know, like, what can I do? But he juggles multiple women like his father. Only difference is that Prince is not impregnating anybody, thank God. Overall, anyways, their father is a waste, but the good thing is that unfortunate event that happened to Dimple brought them all together. Now they're very close and they have each other to fall back on, unlike their useless father, who was never a father to any of them. But at least they have each other, and that is the beauty of this story. Read the book. It's really good. I enjoyed it. So much drama. I just didn't want to spill all the juice in here, because I think you should pick up the book and read it. But yeah, it was really good. I talked so much in the first video that I couldn't fit all my thoughts in 10 minutes, but I wanted to mention a few things that I just remembered. I feel like the ending of this book was very abrupt. I feel like it could have been expanded a bit more and dragged on a bit more, especially the Chiron situation. I feel like was resolved too easily. I personally would have dragged it and made it more problematic, but you know, of course, I feel like the author probably just didn't want to make the book extremely long, and you know, so I just feel like the ending was a bit too abrupt. I also feel that I didn't get to know Lizzie that well enough, as much as I got to know Danny, as much as I got to know Dimple. I feel like I didn't really get to know Lizzie that much. I would have loved to know more about Lizzie and have her story expand a bit more. Same with Nikisha. I feel like I would have loved to know how Nikisha ended up having to raise herself and raise Prince, her brother, as well. I would have loved to, you know, see like Nikisha's upbringing and get a bit of an understanding of why she's always, you know, taking responsibility for everything and just like being the head of everything, and why she feels like she has to step up and be like responsible for everything when, you know, it's not her responsibility. So I would have loved to see what brought her to being who she is. But yeah, and also I would have loved to get a bit more on Lizzie's mom, Kemi, because I feel like I got to know the other parents better. I got to know Tracy, who's Danny's mom. I got to know Janet, who's Dimple's mom. And I got to know a little bit about Bernice, who's Nikisha and Prince's mom. But I would have loved to know a bit more about Kemi, who's Lizzie's mom, because I feel like Kemi was more of a mystery in the book, which I guess the author did that on purpose, and that's understandable. I just would have loved to know a bit more about her. But yeah, those are the things that I just wanted to mention.